Feature Friday.
The freshest. So much to say.
Yeah, certainly a very
So much to say.
very cool podcast. I must say, welcome to Feature Friday Plus.
Hello.
And also, yeah, it's all about One OK Rock today.
And their freaking documentary
Flip a coin.
that dropped on Netflix. Flip a coin. I mean, all right. Shall we get straight into it? Because I've just watched it. I feel like
We literally just finished it. We've had quite a busy day because we had a few podcasts and stuff like that. I can't say who, but it's a K-pop band, so you guys can theorize. And he's one of my favorite K-pop bands, but that's what I can say.
yeah. That's all you can say.
I think that I may be misleading though.
No, that's all you can say for now.
Well, I can tell you this: it's not Dio,
No, that's for sure. You can say that.
but it's someone that I consume. It's a band I consume a lot in my off time.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Anyways, stop
Sorry.
talking. I think I just want to say there are some talented people in this world, and then there's Taka. He's like on a whole new level of talent. Like, I had never seen somebody be so invested. Okay, this is a spoiler full review, by the way, so if you
It's not a
haven't seen
movie; it's a documentary.
I know, but a lot of people get angry with spoilers, so I'm just gonna give a spoiler warning. Please do not continue if you haven't seen it. that's on that rail.
Press the like button and dip.
Literally. But yeah, and if you haven't seen it, please watch it. Oh my god, it is a life-changing
Boys.
type of like documentary.
Full of wonderful music,
Yes.
incredible cinematography.
Yes.
You're really getting to understand how an artist's mind operates. The dynamic of the band, which was certainly very interesting. Yeah, you get to see what it means for these guys. You see the story, so it's certainly a wonderful documentary. And even if you don't like rock, I'm not the biggest rock fan, and I seem to be a fan of them mainly because they do really high quality rock. That's why they're a league on their own. But it's a very, very good, definitely very good documentary that I think is worth a watch for everyone. Mm-hmm. Whether you know about the Japanese music industry or not. It's very interesting because they alluded on the documentary that the step to go worldwide and start dominating the worldwide rock scene with Warner, it's on the books. Mm-hmm. So interesting.
That was a little piece of information that I wasn't expecting to.
Negotiate for himself. Good man. Good
yeah.
man.
Well, you can. That's what the whole thing is about. Like, I think that the huge focus on how the whole idea of the online concert started. It's such a.
Yeah. Apologies.
So yeah, the whole concept, the main idea of the online concert came from Taka, from like
his initiative.
Yeah, the initiative, and I didn't expect it to be so hands-on throughout the whole process. Like, he really invested himself, not only physically but mentally and logistic wise, and everything from a physical standpoint. And I loved the whole journey that we got to take with him in this little snippet of what it's like to be involved, because it's literally just scratching the surface, right? And you got little insights to their early lives and how they got involved in music and stuff, and it was like a little tease for me. I would love to go.
They could all have their own movies.
Absolutely, and it is so individualistic, and of course you're just seeing highlights throughout the documentary. But can I be greedy and say that I would love to have like a season?
Yes.
Did it make you choke?
You know what's cool? I wish they would have done more of this. And by the way, it is a very good documentary. Like,
it is a 10 out of 10 documentary.
Just because I'm saying I wish they would have done this doesn't mean it's shit. Like, it's beyond shit. It's actually unicorn poop. I think that's
Indeed.
Very good. But it's I wish they would have delved deeper into Taka's period where he left home.
Me too.
And I wish they would have had like a sort of podcast with his father and him, and just talk for 2 hours. I wonder what's going to happen in 2 hours if it's just spoke publicly regarding that situation, because it seems that history had repeated himself with Taka and his father. So, and I wonder how those years, or they didn't even say how long it was.
No, they really didn't.
After that process of like disownment,
Leaving,
where
yeah.
his family disowns him, and then he leaves. And I wonder how long that period was, and how much of that, autonomous Taka we have now comes from those years of, or I don't know, months, whatever it was, of perhaps being homeless or finding a way and stuff like that. Because you can tell that he is someone who certainly sees the world in a very peculiar way.
But somebody who's built his own world.
Well, somebody who has the skills to build his own world, because that requires a specific individual, and then to also then bring into the physical world and actually have a production. It's that's fucking crazy. That doesn't come just because I have good imagination. That has to come from someone who's actually a leader, someone who's learned to work with people, someone who is understanding, someone who's creative, someone who's disciplined, someone who is relentless, someone also who is stubborn, but also someone who listens. You got a lot of you need a lot of qualities in a man in order for him to lead the pack of this magnitude. Because you're not just talking about, a pack of stray dogs. You're talking about a pack of the elite
creatives.
wolves.
Yeah. Creative people that not only are good at something, but they're excellent at their craft, and their input and their perspectives are just important.
I wish you would have dwelled deep on that.
Like I said, I would have loved this just ignited my love and passion for them and their work dynamic, especially given such a tough moment in the year. I suppose making it happen last year, halfway through the global freaking meltdown. It was a really interesting moment to make such a grand thing happen, and not only because it took a whole village, a whole city basically to make it happen, but because of the logistics and how everything else had to be so driven and everything had to be so calculated. It really struck a chord to see it done right. So I would love to see more of a more extensive period. It was really interesting to also see, for example, how they were gearing up towards the concert, and how Taka was more involved in the logistics and he wasn't in the rehearsal room. That to me took me out for a little moment. I was like, oh, he wasn't in the first warm-up sessions.
Oh, right.
So the band was there, but the rest of them were getting that groove back together. And Taka
hadn't gigged in such a long time.
Yeah, and because they gigged in such a long time.
Or live, they haven't performed.
Yeah, but it's crazy because their last concert was in March.
March, yeah.
In Australia, and they were supposed to be going on tour.
Yep.
And then there's that break, and they were back together. On June?
They were back together. Yeah, no, August, and then they were. I think it was around August, and then their show was in October.
Right.
So they hadn't performed together
in
nearly for 6 months.
Yeah.
That's fucking long.
That's long, and it feels like you could see it. It feels off the first few times.
You feel fatigued. And
you feel weird and out of shape. And
one of the most interesting sentences was like, yeah, I think it was either Ryota or Toru. Someone said oh God, it's just taking me such a long time to process. So many things to process, and I don't know what to process first.
Yeah.
That was you haven't rehearsed in a long time. That's literally what it is. You're
let's
overloaded.
be honest. It was pretty intense.
Oh mate,
it was intense from the moment that they decided to go ahead with an online concert to the moment and wrap up of the whole performance. It was intense.
So just the day before,
the workload was absolutely nuts. I think we counted. It was 4 full runs at the end.
3.
Oh, right.
3 concerts, 3 full concerts in less than 24 hours.
Yep.
And the fourth one is the actual concert.
That's right.
Ooh, And that was just the day before. Imagine all the weeks prior to that shit, how many runs they had to do, and just it's not coming along together. You have to make a change at the end. You're not going to use augmented reality anymore because it looks like garbage.
By the way, that was so interesting to see his, Taka's reaction towards it. It was like, he was so disappointed. It felt heartbreaking to watch, let go of something that he was really looking forward towards.
The realization that you failed.
That's right.
You have to move on, and you have to keep going though, because it's just too close. He did say at the beginning, if we're gonna do this, I want to put all my chips in. I want to put everything in. I don't want to have anything left. If we fuck it up, we fuck it up. If it's good, it's gonna be the best it possibly can be. And that was the realization of you are all in, and you were dealt a bad hand because you hadn't worked with augmented reality in your life.
That's right.
And neither had your team. And
it was a risk to take, and I think everybody knew how much
of
a
risk. This
risk
to begin with was a risk on his own.
Of course, and I think that's another thing that I wanted to talk about: the trusting process from everybody, from the technical team to the logistics team to everybody that puts everything together, the moving company, the staging company, everybody trusting the process without a shadow of a doubt. It was insane. A direction would be given and there would be no questioning. It would be like, yeah, that's the Bible,
Yeah, they really took him fucking like the Bible. Like,
it really was. And it was really eye-opening to watch because, a lot of the times you see the artists come into this, come into the set, come into the arena that they're going to be performing in, and you see them criticizing the atmosphere for whether they want, however they want it, but you often see resistance from the team, people that have already created this space. They hold things very dearly, and there is
kind
boundaries.
Of defensive about it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of boundaries going throughout the whole thing, and it's mad. I think I didn't see any type of resistance from the team at all. Taka would say, "I want the lights brighter," and the technician would say
like,
that this is the brightest. This is all I can do.
Yeah, it's like, but make it brighter. It's like, well,
I can add more lights in the ground.
Yeah, they give solutions, and I think also, that's certainly very interesting. I haven't seen any other artists be that hands-on and also be not perhaps the word isn't respected, but perhaps be taken as the leader, and with the authority that he deserves, because it was his idea, it was his execution, and you live and die by his word. So when you have a team like that, you're truly lucky. But I think also it has to do perhaps with the Japanese culture.
You think so?
Mate, because the way and I also know a lot of things that get lost in translation. But I do, because this is a well-made documentary, I think that the translations attempted to showcase in the manner in which they communicate with each other, and like the way they talk to one another, and the way that Taka and all his team speaks to one another, it's different. Like, it's as if you really know what everyone's worth is, and you understand that you're just as powerful as the other member.
That's right.
A member of your team. So if he fails, you're also a fuck up. So you have to treat him just with as much respect.
Yeah.
You can be demanding and you can be critical, because in order to be outstanding, you must have these qualities too. But that doesn't mean no one takes anything personally, which is very peculiar. I just think as a whole, they're so elite. Like,
it really is.
And I'm not just talking, Tomoya, which, by the way, I think what a fucking vibe that guy is.
He is the happiest human on earth.
And his kids are hilarious. His two little boys, they're fucking funny. Anyway,
well, 3 boys in the end.
Well, now it's 3, yeah. He doesn't. No girls.
He didn't get lucky.
Not lucky. He got super lucky. He got 3 kids. But anyways,
he's the happiest man.
It's not the band members. Like, the band members,
No.
we'll discuss their relationship with the band members in a second, because similar to how the whole team actually operates.
Yeah.
Taka it's the leader. He
calls the shots.
Live and die by his word. And the ship sings, they'll happily sing with the captain.
Yeah, that's right.
Proudly. And as they go down, they'll still salute him. But with the team, and the thing is, the team at that magnitude, it's thousands of people. It's not hundreds. It's fucking thousands. It might be hundreds on the arena, but the label work, the investors, the board, the main board, the people
publicity,
behind,
the people that promote all of this stuff. Let's not even talk about the dealing,
the marketing. That's what I'm saying. It's thousands of people, and we're starting to be able, luckily thanks to you guys actually, be able to look behind the curtains, not of the Japanese music industry yet, but we're starting to see it in a close, I guess, music industry relative, which is the Korean music industry, which do tend to have some similarities in terms of how they manage music, and we're starting to have a look at the backstage, behind the curtains, the publicists, the labels, the marketing team, the financial team, and just having a glance, right? It's like, fuck, this is for 7 bands, for 10 bands. And now this motherfucker, it is ginormous.
And it's just one band.
It's just one band. Also, there's one of the most successful bands.
Oh yeah, I mean,
arguably not just out of Japan, but rock bands at the moment. And the fact that they all are so also aligned with the concepts of one man.
That's right.
Taka, what
all their eggs are in Taka's baskets. It's like, and there is no.
They truly believe, man.
There is no doubt about it as well. There's okay. So I was talking about when I saw that whole thing unravel and how all the pieces were coming together, and you're starting to see the bigger picture. You're starting to see, the concert come alive. You're starting to get the jitters. By the way, it was such an emotional journey to watch.
Very well executed documentary.
Oh, I was so emotionally invested. I felt in the moment. I felt part of the whole journey, the whole process. But the really mind-boggling part is how clear of a vision it was to begin with. From the moment that idea was created, the vision was clear, and it was really nice to see, for example, the loss of focus in Taka, for example, right before the day before the full run, where he was like, I didn't know who I was talking to, I didn't know who to direct myself to, there's no audience, how am I gonna direct myself towards? And seeing
the president sends him a letter, right?
That's right. And he's like, you know what, I
want you to, all of you, to look at the cameras.
Always. I want you to make contact. And he was like, finding and seeing that, because you forget when you see somebody so focused in their craft and so invested and so, I don't know, tunnel vision with their idea. You kind of forget that they're human, you kind of forget that there's doubts, that there's fear, that there is anxiety and stress and
confusion.
You're just confusion, completely, and sometimes a blurring of the lines. Where is the horizon? Where should are we leading towards somewhat my initial idea? That's also what happens when something becomes so grand. A lot of the times you can, find yourself in this DC place where am I actually heading towards the point where I intended to?
Lots of mental fog.
That's right, and it was really interesting to see all sides, the human aspects of themselves, seeing them lose themselves on stage, in rehearsal, that safe environment, so holy, like a holy place. It was really insightful to me, incredibly inspiring, of course, but it was very interesting to see it because the magnitude of where they are at it really is something that is completely alien to me, right? So
it also highlights the fact that it wasn't a clear vision to begin with. It was fucking convoluted, confused, and full of fog. But I think what makes him different to a lot of people, especially Taka, leaders wise, is that he's able to
clear the fog.
Yeah.
See the picture.
Under pressure. So he trusts, he bets on himself and trusts himself to trust the process and that he will find the answers. And sometimes he doesn't. The Omega reality thing, I think it was a great example of sometimes he fails. And I'm glad they added that type of stuff in. Also, that's the drama. It's like a day before, all of a sudden, take all of that shit off, we're going to just focus on lighting now. ooh.
Yeah.
Imagine the people's stomachs must have dropped.
Oof.
When Taka was so disappointed seeing the fucking examples. I look, that looks so cheap. And
It's like, no, I hate it all.
my stomach, I would have thrown up.
Bro.
If I was the light technician, you motherfucker, you're gonna, you know?
No, the crazy thing is like,
It's like,
it's like,
I understand. I understand.
yeah, that's the thing, that there was literally
Yeah, I
no
see.
reaction from the team. Like, I think it is when he was halfway through the performance, he was like, can I see that? I think you're doing it wrong.
No, it's like, that's not the visual
That's
arrangement
not the visual.
we did.
No, I don't like that. And
Yeah.
then when he sees it,
It's like, yeah, that's
garbage.
he wouldn't say that though. He's like, that's no good. And he's like, oh.
It's not good at all.
That's not
And
good at all.
oh, you're like, oh my god, I could feel the pressure. And the person who was like literally sitting next to him was like, yeah, okay, yes.
I think also they,
It was
because they're all
nuts.
there to also,
Such
yeah.
an exciting documentary, though.
yeah, they're all there for the same objective, to have the best and to execute his original idea. So if he says that's not gonna go in, it's not like your job is crap and you're a crap person. It's just that's not gonna go in because it's not what we. You know what I mean? I asked for only shades of red. Why is that purple?
Literally.
It's that it should be like that, and it's truly amazing. Here's the other thing as well that I really enjoyed learning about was like the relationship between the musicians, like Ryota and
Toru?
no, it's Tomoya and Toru who
yeah,
grew up together basically.
Yeah, right.
And that was awesome to sort of see it, just see their friendship and stuff like that.
And you can see their bond is like
Truly
different.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's
It's really intense because even in the way that they greet each other and like they hype each other up right before, it is so.
Do a little handshake, don't they?
Yeah, it is so like these are like these unbreakable bonds. Like
Oh, you grew up together.
that's right.
You grew up together, and now you make a living together. You work together.
No, you've
built a
made
family.
history together. That's different, bro.
I would imagine. I don't
That's
know.
different,
but
man.
I think most importantly that
You're a team player.
that given the constant, the constant, what would you call it? Yeah, because life is this sort of continuous thing that we all experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're at that level, you see people come and go all the time. Musicians come and go. Teams come and go. You grow up. I can't remember 15 names from my people from high school.
That's right.
And sometimes I'm ashamed of that, but I can't. And then imagine them for university. Maybe they didn't go, maybe they did. I don't know. And then after that, you see people come and go, but your mate, who you grew up with, who you did the thing you love the most, it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter you played in front of 60,000 people or 2 people. He's still there. And when you're 60, he's still going to be there. And when you're 50 and 90, 80, and he saw your kids grow, he's holding your kids, your newborn and your other little adorable little human that he had. That's so funny. He's like, my mom's going to crack an egg. It's like, no, it's not a dinosaur, bro. It's a baby. It's going to come out. Like those type of moments. They're there. And that's, I think, what makes their bond truly special. Because every friendship, regardless of the accomplishments that the friendship goes in or the ups and downs, it's the length of time which truly makes it, gives it that magnitude. Not to use that word too much now, but that is probably
the word
to describe what they truly achieved. The magnitude of it was ginormous.
It is. It was. I think, if you weren't a fan before, you watch this documentary and it opens your horizons about the music industry and how much it actually takes when you buy a ticket to an online concert from the comfort of your own sofa, from the comfort of your own bed. You are contributing to this incredible industry that not only requires one brilliant mind, but it requires thousands, and it's to me that's insane. And a lot of people say, oh my god, I feel so bad because I want to support more and I'm just out here liking a video or whatever, but you are helping towards that. And that is,
oh, you mean people that sort of financially do it, right?
Yeah. And it's being part of it, supporting, watching, being actively part of the whole thing. It's it's helping towards the building of this new
sometimes
industry.
Just a message makes such a difference for
It does.
a lot of these guys,
And you'd be surprised at the fact that how connected, how grounded they actually are. And I think that was another wonderful part of this documentary, that you could see humans, that you could see people. You didn't see, this detached elements of music or whatever.
I'm glad. I mean, I guess documentaries do attempt to do that when it comes to artists, right? They try
but
to
it felt
humanize
very
them.
organic, didn't it?
Yeah.
It felt very organic.
But we've seen other documentaries where they still maintain that stardom sort of aura around them. And in here, I think that was all stripped away on purpose.
And I don't know if this is perhaps one of the first times, because the hype towards this documentary was...
The hype.
The hype. Was
you
really
said hype as in hype labels.
Oh, sorry. My tongue is a bit asleep. But yeah, the anticipation towards this documentary was really big, and I think perhaps this is one of those rare moments where people are getting an insight into such a long career, such a big group.
Also, most importantly, you get an insight on what it's like to do a huge production
online
nowadays.
Today.
Nowadays, which very rare do you get to see that much. I know lots of important details were left out, but like, for example, something very interesting that happened was like the amount of attention to detail that, I mean, the fact that it comes from him, it's fucking mind-boggling. But that's why you need people like him. In the different types of ways the fans are going to consume the concert. So little speakers from a phone, from a garbage phone like this one. No hate OnePlus, but I'm just saying. A big speaker like this who maybe only catches bass. Earphones, perhaps over-ear headphones, perhaps then more sort of adequate, sound-wise for more music aficionados. So he was very aware of that, and those are things that you didn't have to worry about before. So that means the sound engineer has to basically just, I don't know, make it work, and I don't know what that entails, but it's certainly difficult.
And it's actually really interesting. That was a beautiful part of the whole process, the rehearsal process, where they were live recording, at the point where they were live recording the rehearsals in the studio. To check the levels and what's going to be on the stadium, which, by the way, changes the whole phonetics, like the whole acoustics are completely different.
It just has to be good enough so that you can then go on the stage.
Exactly, but you gotta be very familiarized with the set list, what each song requires, usually things fall into place in rehearsal, and I think it's really important that the sound engineer was part of the whole process too, because you can also adjust as things progressively get bigger, and I think that was something else that really struck a chord to me, like having the whole technical team so included right from the beginning, and that to me was crazy, because often what you get is a few months before, the whole technical team will get together, they will watch what you have, make notes and adjust and whatever. But in this case, throughout the whole process, the technical team was hand by hand with the band.
Yeah, there was no disconnection.
None at all. And I think that also, helped the overall experience of the online concert. And I think you could see it in their faces at the end. I think it was a titanic movement. It was something really of a flip of a coin. It could have gone down the drain. Like the weather situation, nobody saw it coming. And it was very lucky that, the typhoon decided to go somewhere else. But those things are outside of people's control. What were they going to do if that was the case? Everything everything was at an all-time high stress pressure, right?
That typhoon, it could have fucked up so much.
So much!
Because it's also like the wind aspect of it. It's not just the water. The water, you can kind of work around it. But it's so much more than that. Obviously, the intensity of the water matters. And the wind, it would have been fucked. It would have been fucked.
And I think that the title of the documentary was very fitting.
Flip a coin. It's a gamble. He did gamble.
And I think all of them gambled. I think everybody gambled.
Yeah.
It was a huge...
I just say he, because he came up with the idea. So I'm sure if it was a successful thing, people are going to, Taka's amazing. But if it was unsuccessful, Taka was crazy to do this. We never tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There was risk. There was ginormous risk, and then he would have translated to One OK Rock. You know, the worst online you know what I mean? I'm sure they would have.
Of course.
Especially with media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How sometimes they are. So whatever gets clicks.
I think it was astonishing to see the final product.
Oh.
I think it was.
I wonder if anyone watching went to the online one.
Yeah, actually bought tickets for.
Because we didn't know who they were.
I didn't know they had a concert online, and.
Well, we didn't know who they were then.
That's perfectly true. But yeah, I think seeing their surprise when the fireworks came through. They finally said. I think it was so. It was.
It felt relieved. It felt even relieving to me.
I know. I felt like, oh my god, it's done. They did it.
They did it.
They actually did it, and I had goosebumps all over. And I think, again, what a brilliant piece.
10 minutes before, or like 10 minutes with shadow boxing and
running in circles, and you're like, oh my god, it's all or nothing.
And you see Tomoya. Just air drumming, like I would and anyone else would.
Yeah.
Just to keep yourself loose, and also keeps you busy.
The happiest human on earth.
He is like my example of the attitude to life performing.
He loves life.
Yeah, just be
and
happy.
And life loves him back.
Yeah, be happy and fucking enjoy that. Like, he truly sees it as a huge privilege. And I think he understands, because at the beginning he wasn't really into it, was he? Like, when he first started working in a band, that turns out to be this band.
As you do.
He just sort of, I guess I was alright at drums, and they introduced me to, my mate introduced me to a band. I wasn't really that much into it, and now I'm still here.
somehow I'm still here.
And he's the happiest man in the fucking band. Taka's out there doing equations. And
he's like, I have food.
Toru is like break dancing with bloody guitar.
Yeah, air guitaring. It's fantastic. Overall, it's a gorgeous piece of cinematography. I think it plays with your emotions. It really puts you in the zone. It's
fantastic. It's a really good documentary.
Yeah.
I truly recommend it for everyone. I do want to say, let us know your thoughts about their documentary about Flip a Coin and what
if
your
you
thoughts
did
were.
watch the live concert, let us know what that was like from the
Dude, when they
comfort of your
sang
house.
"We Are" in there.
We are.
Now that we know the lyrics,
We
it felt amazing. That outfit he had on, do you know the white outfit? Amazing.
Brilliant.
I also big congrats to the dancers. That was a great addition.
Oh, that was like also another genius idea, because it was one number only, and he was like, I vision dancers.
Well, it's also so empty, the whole thing as well.
Yeah.
It needed help. I'm sure that's what his worry was.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he wanted the augmented reality aspect.
Yes.
So that at home it would feel so much thicker, so much fuller, and you could fool the audience. And of course, if you were there, it would look a bit weird. But in the phone and in your computer, it would have looked surreal. Mm-hmm. But he didn't want it to look too surreal. He just wanted it to look augmented. Mm-hmm. And then the realization you can't do that. Then we have to put on the performance of our lives, because if not, this is gonna look like shit.
That's
and
right.
empty.
Mm-hmm.
Just a light show. So.
I know, and by the way, freaking congratulations, and the light engineers and the sound engineers and the people that were the online people that were making it happen with all the camera changes, but the cameramen, bro,
dude, just the builders, the cleaners, the fucking
the people that deliver the food,
the transport people for the staging. Insane! I'm telling you,
all the logistics were
thousands of people.
Oh my god, fantastic! It's
and also, can we discuss the money?
I was gonna say that.
Shit, that's what happens when you have unlimited budget. Even though he didn't have unlimited budget,
because he was talking about it.
Turns out CGI is fucking expensive.
Yeah, and he was talking about it. Well, I would have thought.
So maybe you need to hire some I don't know, fucking Disney expert.
Most definitely, they had for sure. They had some expensive people in it. They had to.
Yeah, but then they took them all out.
Actually, bunk it.
Hit the like and dip.
It's like, here's your paycheck for nothing.
Yeah. Well, anyways, do let us know what your thoughts were.
Money.
It was a pleasant experience, and
Beautiful.
I'm so happy that everyone else is enjoying it, and a lot of people are talking about it online. This is our little, I guess.
What
would you call it? Summary.
We are moment.
Yeah. Do want to say, apart from that, thank you so much for the support, guys. Do Do remember you can go on FutureFridayStore.com, and if you'd like to support the channel and also wear stylish clothing, you can buy Future Friday merchandise.
With the code CocoBob.
CocoBob for
10% off.
10% off. That's CocoBob, 10% off at FutureFridayStore.com.
Why CocoBob? Because Efra couldn't think of anything else.
I like CocoBob. It sounds funny. It sounds like a cereal.
It is.
An EXO cereal.
An EXO.
Anyways, apart from that, lovely guys, and
thank you so much for suggesting this. Anyways, and if there's something else,
another
anything
documentary,
else,
I love doing this.
Wow.
Bit shorter, you know what I mean, but it is really lovely to talk about.
Hits in the home.
Goodbye.